getting more or less with much and little, countable versus uncountable nouns. Hello, language learners. In today's lesson, we are going to focus on how we use the words much and little when referring to countable and uncountable nouns. Understanding this concept is essential for accurate and natural-sounding English. So, let's dive right into it. Before we start applying these words to countable and uncountable nouns, we first need to understand what much and little mean in the context of English language. Much is used to talk about a large quantity or degree of something, but interestingly, it's usually used in negative sentences or questions. For example, I don't have much time, or, is there much sugar left? On the other hand, little often refers to a small quantity or degree of something. Similar to much, little is commonly used in negative sentences and questions, like, I have little patience for this, or, is there little hope left? To apply much and little correctly, we must understand the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns, as the name implies, are things that we can count. For example, apples, books, dogs, etc. We can have 1 apple, 2 books, 3 dogs, and so on. Uncountable nouns, on the other hand, are things that we can't count because they are often seen as wholes or mass. Examples include water, sugar, time, etc. We don't usually say 2 waters or 3 sugars unless we are referring to types or units of these items. With uncountable nouns, we often use much and little. For instance, I don't have much time. There is little sugar left in the jar. Notice that we didn't count the nouns time and sugar. Instead, we used much and little to express quantity. But what about countable nouns? When dealing with countable nouns, we typically use many and few instead of much and little. For example, I don't have many apples. There are few books on the shelf. Much and little are not commonly used with countable nouns in affirmative sentences. But in some formal or poetic contexts, you might encounter something like, little birds are singing, or much efforts have been made. However, for everyday English, stick with many and few for countable nouns. So, there we have it. We've just gone over how to use much and little with countable and uncountable nouns. It's a subtle aspect of English, but a crucial one for speaking and writing accurately. Remember, much and little with uncountable nouns, and many and few with countable ones. Keep practicing and you'll master this in no time. As always, thanks for tuning in. Happy learning and see you in our next video.